I find it a little bit hurtful because, calling me a fascist bigot, I think is out of bounds. I have made it very clear I am a theocratic fascist bigot. Okay, Carlos Maza. Maybe you've heard of him, maybe not. He's this guy.
The long, dark night of the end of history has to be grasped as an enormous opportunity. The very oppressive pervasiveness of capitalist realism means that even glimmers of alternative political and economic realities can have a disproportionately great effect. The tiniest event can tear a hole in the gray curtain of reaction, which has marked the horizon of possibility. From a situation in which nothing can happen, suddenly anything is possible.
Yes, very smart. Very smart guy. You can tell he's smart because of the big words. That's how you know. That's how you know the smart people. Actually, he was quoting a book there, which makes him even smarter. And Maza, you may remember him from when he was trying to deplatform Steven Crowder a while back. So he's that same guy. He's big into deplatforming people. It's sort of his thing, part of his motto. In fact, his motto is be gay, do socialism, deplatform bigots. Like I said, the guy's a genius. Do socialism. You can't put it any better way than that. He's also, as it turns out, a filthy hypocrite. There's a fascinating piece in the New York Post from John Levine. Levine exposes Maza's hypocrisy, and the price that he paid for it, Levine did, is that he got suspended from Twitter. He's reporting on this. Twitter suspended him twice. Suspended him, let him back, suspended him again, and then said that he could come back if he deletes some of his reporting about Carlos Maza, which he had to do so that he could come back. And this is what happens. The leftist hypocrites protect their own. They circle the wagons. Now, as Levine reports, Maza is not only a socialist, but he's taken to publicly criticizing people for being wealthy. Here he is attacking James Carville for being rich. Says, just found out James Carville, who spends his time lecturing Democrats for being too far left, lives in an absolutely obscene 4-story mansion. And dear God, can we stop taking political advice from the ultra wealthy? And then he continues, you really have to respect this guy's grift. Constantly dressing in normal clothes on TV to feign relatability while living like this. Masterful con artist. In another post quoted by Levine, he apparently wrote, we should treat gay people the same way we treat straight people, eating them when they get too rich. So he wants to eat the rich. He's into that. Meanwhile, Maza also fundraises from his followers, hits them up for cash, calls them his comrades, the ones who donate to him, donate to him through Patreon. All of this despite being himself, apparently, enormously wealthy. Reading now from the Post article, it says, through his clan, the Millennial Firebrand is connected to multiple Florida mega mansions. A $7.1 million pad on the Upper West Side, purchased under an LLC, and a yacht by luxury boat maker Donzi. Personally, they're my favorite yacht maker. I've got a couple, and that's, if you're going for a yacht, definitely go for the Donzi. Just my opinion. He says Maza's mother, Vivian Maza, was one of the first employees at Ultimate Software, a Florida-based behemoth, which now employs more than 5,000 people. Starting in 1990 as an office manager, she ultimately rose to become the group's chief people officer in 2004. In addition to her day job, Vivian Maza has developed a very close personal relationship with the company founder, Scott Scher, so close that an independent assessment of the company in 2016 cited the relationship as a corporate governance concern. The report said they believe the pair to be more than just coworkers and have a familial relationship. The two later became engaged, and the couple has lived together for years, with Scher being a de facto stepfather to Carlos. Public records show Vivian, Scott, Carlos, and sister Isabel all registered to vote at a 5-bedroom, 8-bathroom waterfront palace in Boca Raton, Florida. First of all, what do you need 8 bathrooms for? Talk about wasting water. I mean, why would you need more bathrooms than you have? They got twice as many bathrooms as people. Each person gets 2 bathrooms. The property sold in 2018 for $10.8 million, according to realty website Zillow. Cher also unloaded a 4-bed, 4-bath home in 2015. In Weston, Florida, for $1.8 million. Just $1.8 million, little paltry little thing. Vivian currently resides full-time in a $4.4 million 2-bed, 3-bath luxury condo in Fort Lauderdale, which she lists as her primary residence, according to a 2020 report filed by LCH23 LLC, which she controls. The same LLC purchased a $7.1 million condo on the Upper West Side of Manhattan in November 2017. Let's take a look at the mansion. This is the one, I believe, in Boca Raton. So there it is right there. Pretty nice. Nicer than Bernie's place. So I bet there's a little bit of socialist jealousy going on there. The socialists are all about jealousy. That's their whole thing. And it continues. It's not clear how much Vivian and Cher actively support Maza's lifestyle, but evidence suggests the family has been happy to pitch in to help spread his socialist message. Both Cher and Vivian Maza are listed as comrades at the end of Carlos's most recent YouTube video. And the younger Maza himself admitted in an interview with Mel magazine that his family was there to financially back him if he needed it. Viv and Scott also have pitched in on the rent for Carlos's chic East Village pad just across from Tompkins Square Park. Rents for about $3,000 a month, according to the Post. Okay, so there you have it. Now, if I were to attempt some kind of long-distance psychotherapy here, I would say that maybe Carlos has some mommy and daddy issues, and so his eat the rich stuff is really about his resentment for his parents. In fact, I think there's a lot of that in there. We've talked about what's the reason why socialism has become so popular with the younger generation, and there are many reasons for it. We've got into. I think one issue that does play a part is this: mommy and daddy issues. Why is it that so many of these young socialists are, they're college educated, a lot of them went to nice colleges, they don't come from dirt poverty, a lot of them. They come from upper class society. And they were raised by well-off baby boomers. Probably a lot of them, their parents, 2 parents or one probably divorced, both working full time. They were latchkey kids, came home to empty houses. Maybe they had a nanny that was there. They had all the electronics that they could ever want, and they were playing video games and stuff. But they felt emotionally neglected. See, I told you I'm doing the psychotherapy. I think this is part of it. They felt emotionally neglected by their rich parents growing up, and now they're taking that out on those parents by saying, "Let's eat the rich. Rich people are evil." What they really mean is, my parents are evil. I don't like my parents. At the same time, though, they've got no problem accepting help from their parents. In fact, they demand it. So they're gonna take the money. Yes, you could pay my rent, and you could pay for my cell phone and everything else, but I still hate rich people. So I think there's part of it. But generally, we find this with, of course, with many of the prominent high-profile socialists out there. We find that socialism is a grift. Speaking of grifts, and in many ways, it's very similar to the snake oil televangelists who get rich preaching their own self-serving version of the gospel. Carlos Maza, Bernie Sanders, Michael Moore. These guys they're like the Jim Bakkers of socialist politics. Jim Bakker, by the way, is a televangelist. I've talked about him before. He was the one. He was arrested for fraud, went to prison for it, and then got out and got right back into it. Got right back into being a wolf in sheep's clothing. Put the sheep's clothing right back on. Dove right in. Has a big following again. Is on TV. Right now he's hawking a liquid that he says can cure the coronavirus, and you can buy it for the low price of $300. So that's what these people are, babe. They're like Jim Bakker, except of socialism. They've got their own calibrated, self-serving message of salvation that they sell, literally sell, to the dazed and confused and credulous masses. And the only difference, I guess, is while the snake oil televangelists are preying often upon the elderly, the snake oil socialists are preying upon the young and dumb. Thank you for tuning into the Daily Wire, one of the fastest growing conservative media outlets in the entire country. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and a subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our content.